Hello, my sexy, bold, and unstuck divas. This is Jacinda Haynes, your coach, your friend, whatever you need me to be. Today, we're going to deep dive into overcoming perfectionism, how to let go, let God, and be you. Perfectionism is a topic that is long overdue to talk about. We operate in perfection and it holds us back from everything: our dreams, our visions, our passions, our ideas, anything as simple as an email that we need to write, a conversation that we want to have, an idea, a project. We make it very, very difficult, something very simple, something that we really want, our heart's desire, but we keep ourselves away from it. We hold ourselves back by conjuring up perfectionism. And then that leads to things like procrastination, but that is a different subject for a different day. Today, we're going to talk about perfectionism. And perfectionism has been a big cloud over my life for many, many years. And I remembered even during times of my life where I would actually boast as a perfectionist. Oh, I'm a perfectionist. And the wisdom that I have now, I am happy to say that I am not. At this point in my life, I am so grateful to know the power of excellence, operating in excellence, the core value of excellence. And today we're going to talk about operating in perfectionism versus striving for excellence. Now, excellence is a core value. It is a virtue. It is a way of being. It is not quantitative or qualitative. It's just who you're being. And excellence opens us up to flexibility. It opens us up to self-compassion. That is operating in self-love. Core values is a concept that I implement with myself, my child, and all of my clients. Before I even start a coaching process with someone, we establish their core values. Your core values is your trajectory in life, and then you can start making those goals based on those core values. And so operating in the core value of excellence over perfectionism, again, opens you up to flexibility, opens you up to self-compassion, self-love, so many things, patience, and it just makes a better experience, right? We get things done and we let go of many outcomes and we just live in the moment and we just become excellent individuals, because no one's perfect, nothing is perfect, right? And so when we can really get ourselves out of that notion, then we're really living. So let's jump on in. On this next slide, you'll see a blue side and a yellow side. Left side, blue, and it represents a person who has the belief in perfectionism, who operates in perfectionism. On the left side is a person who operates in the flexibility of excellence. And so let's just jump on in. So a person who operates in excellence believes that everything must be perfect all the time. On the other hand, a person who operates in excellence understands that some situations call for perfection, such as surgery, but other situations do not, like suggesting an outfit to wear, right? We don't have to be perfect with that, but surgery, we need to cross all of our T's and dot our I's, right? But we can become flexible with our outfits. And I remember many times trying to be perfect with an outfit. And even to this day, I don't want to even do that. And it's just so freeing, right? I get to places on time. A person who operates in perfection spends excessive amount of time on trivial problems. How many of us can't agree with that? Or has experienced that in their life? On the opposite end of the spectrum, a person who operates in excellence delegates her time to be spent on the most important problems. So that person knows how to prioritize, and we all know that that is an excellent quality of a leader. It's just a great quality. It yields a very peaceful life when you can prioritize, right? So again, another core value to operate in over perfectionism. So on the left side, back to perfectionism, she sets impossible standards for her success and feels upset when they are not met. Ooh, yes. being very hard on yourself, having that inner dictator. On the other side, she sets standards that are challenging but achievable and feels content when they are met. So, I am so grateful to be in this place in my life. You know, there is a verse, I think it's Philippians 4:13, where he talks about the secret to contentment, meaning I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. He says, I know how to have and not have. I know how to be well fed and not. I know how to win and lose. And that is a secret of contentment. So a person who does not operate in perfection and operates in excellence just knows that, you know what, I'm going to be good either way. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up great either way, whether I'm winning or losing. And that is a peace that surpasses all understanding. And lastly, people who operate in perfection are motivated by fear or failure, criticism or rejection. So you're always running away from failure, or running away from fear, or dimming your light, or responding to criticism or rejection. That's what happens when you're operating in perfectionism. And women, we are, oh my God, we are under attack when it comes to that. And this is something that, you know, some of us are moms, and these are the things that I want to instill in my child, just not to be motivated by fear, failure, criticism, or rejection, not motivated by that, because, hey, it turns us into a perfectionist. On the other hand, they are motivated by the potential for success and happiness. So you focus on, you know what, in this task that I have in hand, this thing that I want to do, I'm going to focus on the potential for success, what it can do for me, right? So let me focus on all those things about this thing or this challenge that I'm afraid to do, that I'm, you know, that's here for me, that's in front of me. Let me focus on what it can do for me rather than what it can't. Oh, I might fail. Yeah, but I might succeed. And people who are not perfectionists tend to focus on the fact that they may succeed. And if they don't, they're still good. Great place to be, right? And then lastly, they see themselves only in extremes as either perfect or a failure. That is a very, very disheartening place to be. Okay, pass or fail. That's how I used to live my life. And the other hand, you see yourself from a balanced perspective with both strengths and weaknesses. We are humans. We are not perfect. We have strengths and we have weaknesses. And that is a balanced way to see ourselves and others. Okay? And I like to reiterate that all the work that we want to do on ourselves, when we do this work on ourselves, we're able to mirror that into the world, so our relationships become better. Just a little point, something I like to point out. When we do this work and we work to become perfectionists, we work to stop becoming perfectionists and operating excellence, we begin to hold that for the world outside of us, the people around us, and then we just have better relationships and everything is just all good. So I just wanted to say that. A couple of points about perfectionism. Perfectionism contributes to problems such as procrastination, stress, anxiety, and depression, right? If everything's got to be perfect, you're probably not going to want to do it. It probably brings you strife, like, oh God, I got to do this task. I got to open the computer. I got to, whatever it is, I got to do the thing. And you're probably going to procrastinate because it's probably not the most fun project to get involved in, right? So we're going to find ways to not do it. So if you're a procrastinator, think about the situation or the challenge that you have before you, and maybe you're being too much of a perfectionist about it. Maybe you want to be more flexible so that the challenge is more inviting, more pleasurable. Secondly, it is possible to be a perfectionist in one area of life but not others. Like, you know, if you're a doctor, you need to be perfect on the surgery table, but when you get home and you got to find that outfit for the party tonight, we can let go. You know, we can wear some plaid and some flowers if you want to. Perfectionism is a personality trait caused by both environmental and biological factors like upbringing and genetics. Despite being a personality trait, perfectionism can be changed. Now, I don't want to get too much involved in this right now because it's a subject for another day, but it's definitely deeply rooted in our family of origin. Perhaps, you grew up in a black and white house where it's pass or fail. You got to make all A's. You didn't have the right to be seen and heard. Um, so everything needs to be perfect before you can be happy or find joy. And so that has just been, everything has to be, you have to pass in order to have joy. And so now you take this into your adult life. Everything has to be right in order for me to experience joy. And you start to establish an either or process for your life. Like either I performed well, or for instance, oh gosh, let me think of something. That's why I didn't want to do this. So let's think about weight loss. Oh, I can't eat any chocolate until I lose 10 pounds. Now that's not fun. We all want some chocolate. So we develop this either or process to life. I have to lose the weight or I can't get married. I have to lose the weight or I can't wear the bikini. I have to lose the weight or I can't do the boudoir photo shoot. And then you start to do it to your child. Like you can't get candy unless you bring home an egg. So it's this either or process rather than an and or both. How can we do both, right? How can we develop a flexible attitude and be able to eat the chocolates and lose the weight? And that's what you want to do. That's a more pleasurable way to live, right? You don't get rewarded after you do something good. We want to reward ourselves and celebrate ourselves throughout the process, on the journey, when we do great and when we don't do so great, I guess, right? When we reach the goals or not reach the goals, we still get to forgive ourselves and have compassion on ourselves and reward ourselves, right? And then lastly, coaching is highly effective at reducing perfectionism. Coaching can be used to explore one's strengths, develop a more balanced thinking, improve self-esteem, and take actions towards flexibility and self-compassion. Okay, ladies, now it's time to unpack. We're going to unpack our perfectionism. Don't you guys love that nice Louis Vuitton suitcase right there, right? I love it. Little duffel bag. All right. So here we're going to do some work here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write down a specific area or goal in your life where you are experiencing procrastination or perfectionism. Something that will make a difference in your life, but you are keeping yourself away from it with perfectionism and procrastination. So it's the first thing you want to do. Get a journal out. I should have told you that before I started this part. Get your journal, get a pen and pad, and if you need to pause this right now, go get that and let's do this work. So that's the first thing you want to do. Write that down, take some time, really think about it, and something that is ceilingless. Don't limit yourself here. I'm talking about that big super goal that you want to do, okay? Do not hold yourself back. We are not limiting here. We do not do limiting beliefs at the Empowerment Lounge and as sexy, bold, and confident women. So pause the video, write that down. The next one. What is the belief associated with why it won't happen or can't happen or why it's taking too long? It could be, because I'm just going to fail. I tried it before and it failed. Or I don't have what it takes. I don't have the money. What is the belief associated with why it won't happen, can't happen, or why it's taking too long? Pause the video, think about that, write it down. The next one is, when you think of beginning this task, what emotions come up? How and where do you feel this emotion in your body? So when you think of doing the thing, oh my God, does fear come up? Do you get this pit in your stomach or your chest or your throat? Does pain happen? Is it fear? What is it? What are you feeling in your body? What emotions comes up? Is it overwhelm? Is it fear? Is it sadness? Is it disappointment? Is it rejection? Get familiar with how this stuff is showing up in our bodies. It's just emotions and it's not real. It's just our bodies reacting to some trauma or some thought process or belief around what you want. And it's just the belief. It's not reality. So it's important to get in touch with the emotions that come up when you think about these important things in your life and the things that you want to do, and then where you feel them in your body. Touch the place where this feeling is coming up in your body. If it's the pit of your stomach, touch it. If it's in your chest, touch it. Be familiar with that, because this is most likely how it feels every time something like this comes up in your life, and you want to be aware of your body just telling you and signaling you, hey, I'm scared. That doesn't mean you don't have to do it. It's just a feeling. So get in touch with the feeling so that you can live with it and say, you know what? I see the fear. I see the overwhelm. I hear you. I feel it. But guess what? We're going to do something different. Okay? So get in touch and get aware. Okay? This is being mindful. The next thing, what would your life look like if this task were completed? What would your life look like if this task was successful? So I put it in two ways. Just completed is one thing, and successful is another. But think about both of them. How would you feel if you just completed it? Now, how would you feel if it was successful? Okay? What would that do for you? What would your life look like? What would it open up for you? What would having this do for you? Will it be a burden lifted? Will you feel successful? Do you feel like, dude, I can reach goals? Look, I did it, right? Would you feel confident? So think about what it would do for you. Would it open up more money, more opportunities, more relationships, better energy if it's a weight or health situation, stopping smoking or anything, whatever it is for you. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. What would it look like if it were completed, and what would it look like if it were successful? So pause the video, really think about that and journal that. All right, and the next one, what is it costing you right now that this task is not done, or that you haven't started it, or avoiding it? What is it costing you? Is it costing you money? Is it costing you time? Is it costing you energy? Is it costing you your dream? Is it costing you your peace? What is it costing you that it's not done? And is it worth it? Right? Pause the video and journal about that, ladies. The next one, what perfect outcome would you have to be willing to let go of in order to get the task done? Transformation is a continual process of letting go, right? If you want to transform out of perfectionism, we got to let go of something, because perfectionism is directly associated with something that you want, a outcome that you want. And sometimes, most of the time, really all the time, we got to let go of the outcome and get into the process and the journey. So what is it that you'd have to be willing, you don't have to, but be willing to let go of in order to get this task done? Maybe it's let go of the fear. It may be to let go of what someone may think about you if you did it. It may be let go of a relationship or the possibility of a relationship. It might be to let go of a job, let go of some money, let go of a belief system. That would be great. It's awesome when we let go of beliefs that are holding us back. So what would you have to be willing to let go of in order to get this done? Let go of, oh my God, if I do it, then I won't have any time. Hey, how can we let go of not having time? How can we be open to making time for it, right? So pause the video and answer that question. Journal about that. And the next question, if you had a close friend that was going through the same situation, what advice would you give her to get started? Now, this is a step back question, and it always helps us to help ourselves when we can step back and see the forest from the trees and see our situation from a different view. So if you had a close friend that was going through the same thing, what in the heck would you tell her? You probably be like, girl, do it. Do this, that, the third, and get it done. It's amazing how we can tell our friends something, and when it's time to apply that same values and steps to ourselves, it's a little more challenging, right? Because there's so much more at stake when it comes to us. But let's step back and just vision yourself, your friend going through the same problem, and she's asking you, what should she do? What would you tell her? What would you tell her? Pause the video and write it down. And the next question, would you be willing to take this advice for yourself that you've given your friend within the next 48 hours? Would you be willing to take this advice, start the action steps towards taking this advice in the next 48 hours? The same advice that you given your friend. That's a yes or no, or maybe. Pause the video and answer that question. The next one, what type of support and accountability do you need? Is it a friend? Is it a coach? Is it, I don't know, a pastor, a loved one, a husband, a wife, a spouse, a friend, a partner? Who do you need as accountability? The community. I have our app community and our Facebook community here for you to support now, and the Sexy Bold and Unstuck workshops. We all hold each other accountable. So the accountability is here, guys. All right. Pause the video and answer that question. And the next question here is, what does the support and accountability look like and from whom? Like I said in the last slide, what does it look like? I have a support for you here with my app, Sexy Bold and can't talk. The SBC app, the Facebook community, the Sexy Bold and Unstuck workshops that we do in the lounge. But maybe it's a friend, a relative, partner. Okay? What does it look like and from whom? Write that down. And lastly, it's go time. It is Sexy Bold and go time. I want you to focus on your action steps. Those action steps that you told your friend to do. Focus on them over the next 7 days. Okay? Focus on them. Okay? Actually, not in the next 7 days. The next 48 hours. I'm sorry. 48 hours. Check in with your accountability partner. Check in and post on the app when you're done, or if you're experiencing challenges or need support. In the app, on the Facebook group, with your friend, whoever you chose as your accountability partner, I want you to check in and let them know that you did it, that you didn't do it, that you're having problems, or you are celebrating a win. Okay? Ask for help. We're all going through the same thing. We're all connected as humans. Okay? We're all imperfect and we all need each other. And we all just want each other to win, right? So let's do this, ladies. Again, Sexy Bold and go time. I've had a wonderful time sharing this presentation with you. Sexy Bold Unstuck, Overcoming Perfectionism. I will see you in the next course.
To learn more about the Sexy, Bold, and Confident movement, visit my website at www.jacindahaynes.com or www.emplounge.com.